and just what you do in particular. You know what I mean? I'm a fan. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Meeting you, and then actually doing what I say. Doing like taking accountability. Let you know I've been watching
Right.
your shit. So when I say I'm gonna support and watch, I go to and I check it out and I listen. You know what I'm saying? I might be reading some, writing some, smoking, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But I'm listening. You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
you had a lot of stuff. There was a lot of stuff said that I caught on to that made me caught my attention. That made me think about some things. You know what I'm saying? So before we get into that, I'm gonna get in with an introduction. Let me share this to a couple of friends of mine, let them know that we are on, and
What's up, Gilly?
we're gonna get right into it. Share this,
What's
and
going on, Ashanti?
boom. Okay. All right. Well, for the people that's here now and for the ones that join later, I am Cooks, always Cooks 24 podcast. And today, episode 99. And today, I have a very special guest. You know what I'm saying? She's a friend of mine now. You know what I'm saying? Well, school, this is Miss Kimberly Michael, podcast host of. I was getting that first word wrong. It's in love with Kimberly Michael.
Yeah.
Okay, in love with Kimberly Michael, and you can find her podcast on all medias, as far as like Podbean, Spotify.
Podbean, my old before my branding that was Spotify, but right now it's Podbean and YouTube.
Okay. So y'all check her out. Spade Anonymous, what up, bro? Y'all check her out. Check out her page, man. You know what I'm saying? Cause you know what I'm saying, me and Spade, that's like my big bro, and he went through some personal stuff, and I'm pretty sure she got some dope stuff that you could think about and, blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? Without saying too
Yeah.
much. What up, British? You know what I'm saying? And Miss Kimberly, I want to introduce you to this British Sterling right there. He did a peace walk across America last year. He was walked about, I think, like a year and a half. He went from Florida all the way to Seattle. And it was a
Wow.
walk for peace. You know what I'm saying? Even though the world still is like it is. But anyway, thank you. Hey, British, make sure you check her out too, man. He a great conversationalist, and a lot of what you say, what's that word you be using? Trigger warnings. He'd be a good combo on that trigger warning thing. So, I already asked you, you know what I'm saying, how you doing and stuff. So we're gonna go and get into it. On a podcast to the podcaster thing. What made you and what inspired you to start creating the kind of content that you create now?
It wasn't really on purpose. Um, and what I'm doing now is way different than where I started. Um, my origins did not, my origins didn't start right where I'm at right now, right?
Right.
Um, but what initially inspired the podcast, honestly, was my daughter. She kept saying, I needed to blog. I need to blog. You need to blog, mom. You need to write more. You need to get out what's in your head, some dope shit and you need to say it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm not a big, I'm a writer, but I tried the blogging a couple times. I just could not get into it, right? I just couldn't, it wasn't my thing. So she sent me one day this like 2 hour long interview with Angela Davis and, oh, I'm going to forget her name. I'll think of it in a second. And she's a white lady. She does a lot of like, color, race things, you know what I mean? Like, and sets people, Jane Elliott,
Jane Elliott.
Jane, Jane Elliott. And it was an interview. They were at a college. And I didn't watch it for weeks, and my daughter kept on and kept on. And it's kind of a long story, but I'll
Mm-hmm.
try to be short.
Go ahead. Go
At
ahead.
the time, I was affiliated, and I'm still affiliated, but we're more acquainted. He's definitely a friend of mine, but he does dope shit. He's the COF of the Black Liberation Movement out of Mississippi.
Mm-hmm.
He was involved in this whole startup too. It was kind of a whole thing. So, anyway, I finally watched what my daughter had sent me, the YouTube clip of the interview, or the kind of just open set at a college scene, and there was some profound shit that was said. And, I just realized that I wasn't doing enough and I had to do something. I don't know what, whatever I could. So I just said, let me talk. Like, I can talk.
Right.
I
Yeah.
can say a
Yeah.
lot of shit,
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
was like, let me just talk. That would be easier. So, I talked to my daughter about it, and then I talked to Patrick Alexander. I'll say his name, Patrick Alexander, the COF of the Black Liberation Movement out of Mississippi. Dope dude doing dope shit right now, and has been doing dope shit. But and I talked to him, and I was like, let's do a podcast. Like, let's go. And he was like, absolutely not. You do the podcast. Like, he was like, you got to do it. Like, you have to. So I was like, so here it is, and here I am. 4 years later, I guess. 4 years later, maybe more. I got two podcasts
now. And podcast to podcast. So this is me asking you, like, how does it feel from the point that you started to the point you are now? Because I know you probably had those moments where you'd be like, what am I doing? You know what I'm saying? Oh, I got to get this research. I ain't had enough sleep and I got other stuff to do. Like, but it's worth it though. Am I right?
It's worth it for me to clear my throat chakra. But every once in a while, something happens, somebody crosses your path and they let you know how you have impacted them.
Mm-hmm.
And I always say, I'm not here to change anybody's mind, but I would love to change your heart.
Right.
So, if your heart gets changed, then if there's a seed that's planted, a conversation had, whether you're angry at me or whether you agree with me, if it provokes dialogue in any way, shape, or form, it's worth it.
Right.
Because at the rate we're going, we ain't making it.
You're right. Okay.
You're not making it right now. So, people need to start talking about like real shit instead of,
fairy tale mess. Okay. The title of your show, In Love with Kimberly Michael. You know what I'm saying? And how did you create that title? Like, what's the meaning? Of course, when you look at it, In Love with Kimberly Michael. So it's like, yo, I love you. You love, because it's love. Love. That's one of your top topics. Strongest topics that you like to talk about is love. So how did you come up with In Love with Kimberly Michael?
I didn't come up with In Love with Kimberly Michael. It's another story. And let me tell everybody right off the rip, I am surrounded by the most amazing, brilliant, beautiful Black men that I could be surrounded by. I'm absolutely in love with all the men in my sphere. Whether I like them or not, I'm in love with them. And this cat was a podcast host. He had his own show. And me, and he had a couple other panelists that were, we were basically co-hosting on his show. Then I had my show. And it was time for me to rebrand. I'm like, I got to rebrand. I got to come out of this. I'm going live. At that point, I was doing one-on-one interviews, just podcast style. And they were pre-recorded and all that, right?
Right.
And so I'm like, I didn't have a name. I didn't have anything. I got to have something, And we were having a conversation, him and I. He got off the phone with me. He called somebody else. They had a conversation. And then he called me back and he was like, listen, this is what you need to do. And he was like having this conversation with me. And all of a sudden he goes, because you're so in love with Kimberly Michael. And he was like, oh shit, that's it. You're in love with Kimberly Michael. That's what it needs to say. He was like, you're in love with, let us be in love with you too. And I was like, that's fucking it. Like, it's it, right? It is everything that it was intended to be. So, so here I am in love with Kimberly Michael, because I am in love with I'm totally in love with myself. I don't give a shit how that sounds. I don't care about being arrogant, braggadocious, none of those things. I fucking worked like nobody's business to get where I'm at. And I'm not even, at the top of the Empire State Building yet. I'm just climbing the side of it. You know what I'm saying? But I still worked my ass off to get here. So fuck yeah, I'm in love with myself. Yeah, I think I'm fine. Yeah, I think I'm sexy. Yeah, I think I'm brilliant. Hell yeah. I am all of those things.
You're supposed to be. You're supposed to be.
But,
and it matches.
But,
it matches.
A goddess will show you better than she can tell you. So that's why everybody need to come see about me.
Go check her out. Go check her out. What's up, OG? My brother. Um, and now to float on to the next topic. That's perfect. I see I did this right. One of your main topics is love.
It
Um,
is.
in so many ways, what's your opinion on how it's abused and misunderstood or not used right? Because I watched one of your shows where you talked about um, how did you put it? How did you put it? You said it's. I think you said something about the language or either the action. You know what I'm saying? It's one of the two that you was talking about that goes with the love. You know what I'm saying? It's like lust. You ain't talking about lust. You're talking about actual, factual love. You know what I'm saying? So break that down if you don't mind.
Well, literally what you just said is the misconception. There
Okay.
is no misusing love. Love does not come with pain, anger, angst, trauma. It doesn't come with any of those things. Those things come with pain and fear. They have absolutely nothing to do with love. But all these fucking narratives that they have out now, you know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? Where it's supposed to look a certain way, like, and I talk about narratives a lot. For instance, the independent woman narrative, right? It's devastating to women, right? It's one of the main causes of the breakdown in the family unit, honestly, is that narrative, right? Independent women, where that comes from, is not a loving place. It's not love. You beating my ass, that's not love. You gaslighting me, that's not love. You hurting me and cheating on me, that's not love. Those are not acts of love, but we keep relating that pain. Oh, I'm never falling in love again because I got my heart broken. Love hurts, love sucks. Love does not do any of those things. Love is effortless, it is selfless, it is beautiful, it is contagious, and it is never ending. Right? And none of us, it seems like no one believes in love anymore. So, everybody talks about my advocacy. My advocacy is for love. I'm advocating for love. I absolutely 100% believe in love. And as well should everybody else. Because if not, Cooks, what the fuck are we here doing? Are we here for things we can't take with us when we transition?
No, ain't nothing going with us.
Are we here for memories, pictures that we take and memories that we have? Like, what makes sense that we would be here for if not for love, right?
Mm,
If not. And there's nothing more beautiful in this world than love. And we just keep adding more negative shit to it. And it's not any of those things. It's misrepresented in a million different ways.
okay. Good way. I'm glad you put that. I'm glad you laid it down like that. It was almost like it was almost like the brutal truth that folks don't want to hear. You know what I mean? Them certain folks. You know what I'm saying? Uh, like I just learned. I ain't gonna say just learned. I said maybe 2 to 3 years back, I got to meet my favorite hip hop rapper on a Zoom call. You know what I'm saying? I won this little contest. Me and my brother Nate, and
Aw.
his co-host, her main thing was all about. It was like I know ain't no other you, but it was like another you in another state. You know what I'm saying? But just how they live in their state, right? And she taught me about that transparency thing. You know what I'm saying? By being transparent and transparency and, you know, not holding back and speaking your mind and accepting the ugly truth. Like basically, ain't no shame because you done laid it all out. It's there. It is. Ain't no shame. You know what I'm saying? The more you ball up that shame and throw it away, the stronger you can, like walk with your head up. You know what I mean? And I like, and you give me that same vibe from watching and listening to you on Podbean too. You know what I mean? And it's real inspiring. You know what I'm saying? Especially all your soul inspired things. That's why I share them like I do, because somebody that I know that might not know you might need to hear that.
Right.
Feel me? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I absolutely do. And I mean, and there's a whole thing that that's in the works that I can't even, that's relatable to that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's another thing. I didn't really have any intention It wasn't my intention to get on TikTok. It was when I finally decided to get on TikTok, I was like, I'm going to promote my podcast on here, right? So I got to do a couple of things, show my toes, shit like that, whatever, right?
Right.
Like I gotta get to 1,000 followers somehow, right? I'm not opposed to taking advantage of what I know men like. I love men; they deserve to be treated. So here's a little treat for you, and it helps me. It helps you. You like my toes? I get followers, right?
Right.
So, y'all can call it what you fucking want, but people do that shit all day.
All
Just
day,
being
every
honest
day.
about it.
and more. So like that's good. Shit.
Yeah, and then at the end of the day, I fell in love and my life changed immediately. And I started writing shit I hadn't written in years, literally. And I write all the time now. Like it pours out of me. I got empty pages of just, notes at the top. Like I don't want to write. Wait, I got to get the, the next one out or whatever, And that's kind of where I'm at. That's what I'm doing. Like I love that shit though. I love it. I was meant to do it.
Yeah. It does. So you love it, so it don't feel like a job, right?
Right.
Dope.
Right.
Okay. So back up a little bit. Tell me more about your career. Like, what else do you do? You know what I'm saying? And how did the interest in that grow? Of course, I understand, but there might be something inside before that top goal. But like, cause you have what you do, everybody can't do. They could, but they don't try. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so, like, more about you, Ms. Kim.
Me. I am a real estate agent in Alabama. I have my license in Florida. There's a bunch of shit going on with that right now. Some miscommunication and some shit going on. So I'm in the middle of rectifying all that. But at the end of the day, I'm in real estate for most people get into it for the money. Let's just be honest. It's a great way to make money. It's a hard way to make money, but it's a great way to make money, and it's a great way to make bigger money than you would normally make at a regular job. The checks look bigger the bigger the house, the bigger the check. It's just the reality of it, right? And so my background is I didn't really come from money. Nobody taught me any type of financial literacy at all. I'm really just learning it, to be honest with you, myself. Really? And then trying to explain that to my seeds, even though they're grown, they know when I get knowledge, I'm going to pass it to them still. As long as I live, that's the way it's going to work, and vice versa. They do the same with me. When they get knowledge, they think I don't know, then they pass it down to me. You know what I'm saying? So, but there's a multitude of reasons why I got into it. I don't even know where to start. So for 20 years. 20 years, we moved 23 times. We were homeless, hotels. I can't tell you the amount of things that I have done and said and bent over to do, not bent over like that, but I'm saying twisted shit around and, made shit happen, evictions. And I mean, you can't imagine. And it was just always so challenging. You know what I mean? And early on, I started in real estate, like in my early 20s, and there was a guy where you could order like pamphlets and they taught you how to go to the courthouse and look up foreclosures. This is a long time ago. And so, but I never got in, I never really actually got into it. So I decided one day I was going to go get my fucking license. Like, why not? So I went and got my license in Florida. I was working for Apple at the time. Oh, it was horrible. And I did both jobs for a while. And then I was like, you know what? I sat in the parking lot one day until I ran my battery dead in the car. I just couldn't go in. I just couldn't. I didn't have shit. I had only been, barely been out of the 20-year relationship for 2 years. I had nothing to my name. I didn't own shit. I didn't have anything. And I was like, man, fuck this. I'm not doing it. And I walked away from the job and I started doing real estate full time. And I fell on my fucking face and I was broke for a year or two or more. You know what I mean? And then I ended up moving to Alabama and same thing, fell on my face a couple times, but I put people in houses. I fight for people that can't get into houses. I don't always come through in the end, but a lot of what I do because of what I did, but I also do it to create wealth. I'm a firm believer in generational wealth, and I had to start late, and now I've got to create, and this is the best way for me and the fastest way for me to get the collateral I need to do what I really need to do, because this ain't it. I'm not saying it doesn't involve real estate. I'm not saying I don't love it. My intention is to get my broker's license and have a couple of offices scattered around the United States. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But when I left, and this is to the come up, when I left, and I say this story all the time, with a mattress on the floor. I was almost 50 years old, and I had a mattress on the floor and a broken dresser. That's the life that I lived, and that was almost 7 years ago. And I'm in the process of getting my broker's license in Alabama. I'm in this great, big, beautiful house I would never have been able to afford in my entire life. I'm doing big shit. I'm fucking up along the way. I'm not gonna lie, I'm fucking up along the way, but I'm still doing big shit. I'm learning to be more peaceful, and in the midst of all this, because this is a real estate it's a lot. it's a hard field. It's a hard.
And I'm glad you said that, because it goes right into the next one. I'm glad I did it like this too, so I can ask you the right way. Being a realtor, what's something that you learned, you know what I'm saying, that you didn't know that you know now, that you can probably see that others don't know that they need to learn when it comes to what you do? Because, some people can think things are simple, but with you being behind the scenes and knowing what's going on and knowing the work, paperwork, phone calls, emails, meeting people, traveling, stuff you got to do, plus getting in the door of that. So and now that you've learned and did so much stuff and still doing stuff to get to where you want to go, because you said this ain't it, what's something that you have learned, that you didn't know then to now that's like, yo, if somebody would say, I want to get into realtor stuff, what's something that you're going to hey, what's something that you'll look at them with big eyes and be like, you know what I mean?
Do it, period. I'm like, just fucking go do it, because if you don't do it, you don't do it. You're not going to fail or succeed at it. You're not going to do anything. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, that was my daughter in the chair. He's behind me, scaring the shit out of me and making his debut, apparently. You'll see his face eventually, I'm sure. But anyway, but I tell everybody that, people call me like, I feel like I need to get out of the state. I've been here my whole life. I'm like, go, fucking run, go, do whatever the fuck it is that you want to do, right?
Right.
If you want to get into real estate, I will say this. Real estate, no matter where, no matter what, is eventually turns into cash. It's just as much as an investment as a stock or a bond or any other type of investment. There are properties all over the United States, and every state, almost every state has a website where you can go and buy a lot for the tax money. In Alabama, for instance, you can go to the state of Alabama Revenue, right now they have so many properties you have to email. It takes them a couple months. You have to be patient. They'll send you back all the information and everything you need to get that property, right? Most people won't buy land. It'll just be a lot with the house, and they're like, there's no value in it. I need a house. I got to have a house. No, you don't. Because when you have land, you can use land as collateral to build or whatever. You see what I'm saying? So if you've got scattered across that are only worth $20,000 or $40,000 each, it doesn't matter, because collectively they can be used as collateral to get the funding that you need to build a home or to build, depending on what you're zoned for. You have to fucking be smarter than the shit that you're working with, right?
Right.
There's a million different realtors, a million different real estate people out there telling you a million different real estate things, selling all kinds of classes and books and whatever, right? It's all accessible. And all that shit, you know, I think about this shit all the time about like making money off doing classes and shit. And it's just absurd to me, because I really want everybody to be rich, right? I really want you to be wealthy. I want you to create generational wealth, cooks, for yourself and your seeds. That's what I want for you. It's what I want for Chief. It's what I want for my best friend, Gilly. It's what I want for everybody on this screen. I legitimately want everybody that I know or am in contact with to find a way to create generational wealth. You think I'm gonna fucking charge you to tell you how to do that? What does that make me look like? It makes me look like capitalism. Makes me look like the system that we are already fucking being oppressed by at this point, right? Makes me look like that. Fuck that. Let me tell you what I know. And let me tell you how we can all get wealthy. So what if it's, you know, only worth 10 or 15? You have to look at the big picture about what it can be. You can just start buying up land everywhere, everybody. Literally, go do it. You know what I'm saying? You can get financed. Just think in concept of having a place to stay and not having to, you buy a piece of property for $3,500 and you own it, and you park a manufactured home on it for $50,000. Your payments are a couple $100 a month.
Yeah, true. You know.
And so go find the tax properties, find out the rules of the tax properties in your state, because they're all different. Alabama, you want something that's already been on the records for 3 years, so you don't have to, it's yours. Once you pay for it and purchase it, it belongs to you. Every state is different. Find out when and where. Go look it up. Find out. Buy this shit. Buy it, and buy as much as you can. You know what I mean? Whether it's got shit on it or not, no matter what neighborhood it's in, buy it. Because eventually just fucking buy it. Yeah, I mean, just do it.
That's a good tip, and that's the first time that I've heard that like that. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, whether it's my fault, I guess, you know, people I hang around or be around, you know, they have ideas of doing things, but they don't do it. Like the phrase, they don't go and just do it. You know what I'm saying? The ones who do go and just do it, they probably they probably failed the first time, succeeded the second time, and going on to adding on the third time. You know what I'm saying? Because they done learned they ups and downs or whatever. So, catch y'all off guard with this one right here. A lot of people don't understand when you say grand rising what that means. You know what I mean? And once I learned it, and it made so much sense. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, versus good morning. And when I got explained that, I was like, yo, like, why are we even saying that? You know what I mean? So, I love it when you say that, because it let me know, you know what I mean? Like, hey, she know what she talking about. Like, you know what I'm saying? She understands. She know. So, grand rising. So, grand rising. You know what I mean? Let people know what grand rising means in the daylight of time.
So, you know, everything, again, another beautiful black man, and he's on my Facebook page, and I interviewed him on my original podcast when it was That White Girl, and I interviewed him, and we talked about words, definitions, and how important words were. Now, mind you, I've known about the laws of attraction, and I've known about The Secret for a very long time. But that's shit you got to practice, and that's a whole nother podcast. But you have to actually practice manifesting. You don't just get up and know that that's what you do and then you do it. It's not how it works. You have to fail at that too. You have to teach yourself to actually manifest. So this is another reason why I talk about narratives, and that everybody thinks, you know, these memes are so cute and whatever, but your words are fucking important. Okay. I also say create a great day, because it's up to you to create the type of day that you want. I got shitty ass news. I was literally bawling my eyes out before 3 minutes before the show, and Gilly, who could attest to this, was like, bitch, you got 2 minutes, get your shit together. I was like, okay. Like, it's not a bad day. I'm alive, I'm breathing, I live in a beautiful home, my kids are all safe. I still have the life that I've created for myself. I still have my peace, although it didn't look like it, 30 minutes ago, but your rising should be grand.
Mm-hmm.
Your rising should be grand. You should not mourn your, so you want me to have a good morning, like you want me to mourn about my day. And look, I get it. People are like, grand rising, I get this a lot. All the time I get, you ain't got to talk to me, baby. Cooks, you already know how I feel about it. You ain't got to talk to me. Yeah. You ain't got to hit my phone. You ain't got to call me. You ain't got to talk to me. But what you're not going to do is look at me like you discussed it with me, baby. If I get on your nerves like that because of something I say, then I'm not the girl for you. Friend or acquaintance or business partner. That's not what we do. There's plenty of people out there. But we have to be very careful with our words. And it's in the Bible a million times. I'm not a Christian. I'm not even going there. I'm just saying for the people who are. It's in the Bible a million times about your words and your tongue. In there a million times. But because of all the other shit that's thrown in there with it, we miss these type of things. You know what I'm saying? It's important that we understand the truth about what is true and the truth about what is a lie. Mm-hmm. And the truth is, your words create. You manifest by what you say. And if you get up every day and say the same thing over and over again, you eventually are going to manifest it, because you're eventually going to believe in it. Mm-hmm. And it is the meaning of that. You know what I mean? Again, I want you to have a grand rising, I want to have a grand rising. Yeah. I want to rise and be fucking grand and create greatness today. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what I want to do. Yeah. So.
I like it. And I've always, what I mean? It's always been a thing of mine. Some of my brothers, saying that we in a group chat, and we always like, whether it's morning, whether it's daylight, evening time or night, we always shout each other out somewhere. It's 5 of us, so 2 of them might talk this time of day, the other 3 might come in, I might come in, you know what I'm saying? It's just a random chat where it's like, we could be sitting in a circle, but one got a book, one got a pimp, It's crazy. So, and I always hit them with the grand rising, and then it kind of caught on. You know what I'm saying? It kind of caught on. You know what I'm saying? So, that's always a good thing.
I love that.
Savage.com. Tell me about your platform.
So, that's my second podcast, Jim Savage. That is his platform, YouTube. Okay. It's Savage.entertainment. And, he's a podcaster. He does, some other stuff. I know where we were. We ran into each other on I'm going to say it wrong, the Lapeef Facebook group. And it's another podcaster, but it's big, like, KA and some other people, I guess, but I don't know them. And somebody else tried to get me to like watch them. And in the process of that, I got in the group accidentally. Mm-hmm. And then I was just baffled. The content in that group, the way that the women and the men talk to each other in this group is unbelievable. And unbelievable. And I was always getting, the women, they came for me every time, never failed. And all the men were like, go Kim. And there was very few white folks in this group as well too. So I got double whammy. They didn't like that shit at all. A lot of people don't like me speaking. They think I'm speaking for Black people, but I'm not. I'm actually speaking about white people and our mindsets and what we think, right? I'm also a woman, so I can speak on accountability. That's how this show came about, because I'll be calling women out. I don't give a fuck what nationality, race, background, religion, none of that shit. If you act a certain kind of way and you claiming it to be something, all the way back to the love conversation.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to see femininity and you walking around in your masculinity with your chest bowed out. You're not gonna step into that title and project yourself as having that title, and then have the women that do actually carry that energy, right? You're not gonna do that to us. So your friends may allow you to do those things, right? And so I'd be boy, I'm telling you guys, some heated conversations on that group in some text messages with some people. And he kind of saw me and was like, hey, and I hit him up to come on the podcast. Anywho, that evolved into him hitting me up one day and was like, you want to do another show? And I was like, yeah, no. He was like, I think you should do a show. And I was like, on what? And he was like, I don't know, like, what do you want to do it on? And I was like, I don't know. And so he thought women and accountability. And I was like, okay, I can do that, because women don't act right. Like, fucking acting. And I was one of those non-acting right women, too. It wasn't like I'm speaking out of some, sedity ass bullshit. I was one of them women that was, I was terrible. I was not a good woman, period. And, that came from brokenness and bullshit is what it came from, right? And so now I became the woman that I chose to be. And y'all ain't about to stand up here and act all fucking stupid and then say, oh, I'm a feminine woman. No, you're not. You're not doing that. You're not doing it. So that's how the show is.
So what you saying there, I was watching a show and you said a more beautiful life for you. You know what I'm saying? It was a change that you went through where you said, I'm going to make my life more beautiful for me. You know what I'm saying? In your words, when and what's that change for you? You know what I'm saying? Word that however you want to when you tell it, but like for that beautiful life that you have and getting more of, what was that change? Because what you just said, how you was this, and that. So it was like somewhere in between that and here, it was like a wow. Okay. And I know it wasn't that easy either. So lay it down.
No, it wasn't. And I've kind of gotten asked this question recently, just in a kind of more in like me reflecting on it. And I had to, kind of think about it. But someone asked me that recently on my other show. And I was like, there was not one moment. There was not a Bing moment. My epiphany, what happened, I'm going to tell you what happened, and it doesn't make sense, I know, because you can't see the forward movement, only I can, because it was my journey. But I'm going to tell you the actual moment. I was out, I had gotten out of the 20-year relationship. I was being stalked. My life was in danger. Shit was fucking out of control, right? Oh. One of my ex-husbands, well, he wasn't even my husband, ex-person, his friends that he grew up with called me a queen online under one of my posts. And I inboxed him and I said, why would you call me a queen? I had never heard that. I had no idea why he would speak that way. Matter of fact, he said Grand Rising Queen, as a matter of fact. That's what he said to me. And me and him get into this heated conversation. And he proceeds to tell me how he was raised. His parents, both his mother and his father, are Moors. And this is my first... Here I have, 3 miscegenated children who at this point, my youngest is 18. Mm-hmm. Their father had sense about him and knew some shit. And here I am, uninformed as fuck, white as fuck, uninformed as fuck. No clue as to really what's going on. And the first conversation I had that opened my eyes is with a man who's got parents that are Moors. Like, could I just slide into the Black History thing? Did I have to just get thrown into the deep end and I got to look up Moors and learn that off the jump? That's the first thing. And literally after that, I just started reading and researching. And I went one way and then I went another, and then I started talking to people, and then I started realizing there was different things along the way, books, movies, songs. And I would be like, oh my fuck. I said this on one of my podcasts. I read something a couple of years ago that said, you are dating at the level of your insecurity. And I was like, it changed my life. It literally changed my dating habits, literally, because I had to self-reflect at that point. Like, what am I doing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I'd say, I did all this healing and therapy and all of these things. And I was just like, oh, I'm, and you're not, because you're always evolving. You can become healed, you can become whole, but you're always evolving. Never just like one moment. First, I realized that I was broken and I needed to heal. Then once I was healing, I realized I need to do more healing, And then it was like, oh, I don't have to be that person. Oh, I can have this truth and it doesn't have to match his truth or her truth. Mm-hmm. I can believe this or I cannot believe in this, right? And then the last year, maybe a little bit longer, I realized that I can become any type of woman I choose, because who I was up until that point was just broken pieces of what resembled a woman. Mm-hmm. I got to now realize that I get to choose being a feminine woman. I get to choose being smarter than I am. I get to choose walking in my wisdom. I get to choose what I eat, what color I wear my hair, what clothes I put on, how I dress. I get to determine if you're sexualizing me or I'm sexualizing myself. Shit like that, right? Like, right. I get to choose things. I get to become. And so now I have literally am working on perfecting the woman that I want to become, because now I know exactly who I am. I know exactly who I am and what I'm trying to, and what I am becoming. Not trying. Becoming. Okay. And becoming. So now I get to become. So now I'm on a whole new journey of becoming that woman and perfecting that woman that I choose and have chosen.
Okay. And it's dope. The way you answer it is great, because, I tried to research. What's up, Elevated Creation? I tried to research as best I could. I kind of had to do like a cram. You know what I'm saying? I did some stuff, and then I had to cram, right? So I went and, I went to the Podbean, then I went to the YouTube, you know what I'm saying? And, you know what I'm saying, listen to the conversations, you know what I'm saying? And y'all be having, y'all be having a good time talking too, you know what I mean? So, like, it'd be some good, it'd be some good conversation. Y'all be laughing, joking, messing with each other, you know what I mean? So I tried to catch some stuff. One something that you said that was real tough, I thought, was, let me see which one. I'm gonna pick one. Explain your views on the femininity, because I remember you saying that the masculinity like the women don't want to be the feminine because they feel like they got to be the masculine to make it. You know what I mean? And I guess I hope I'm saying that right. Basically, the women should be able to embrace their femininity instead of embracing the masculinity for whatever reason, you know what I'm saying? But I think you can explain it better.
Well, I think that we're unbalanced as a collective unit, as women. Okay. So of course we're all individual, just like a relationship. There's individual you, there's individual me. We get together, then there's a collective us, right? Yeah. You 100% you, me 100% me, we 100% us. Because again, something else that doesn't deplete is energy. Your energy does not deplete. You can always get more energy, even if it gets down low. Your energy never depletes, right? Love, just like love never depletes. So I think that collectively as women, we have become so unbalanced in this masculine energy that has now, in my opinion, I don't believe in toxic masculinity in men. I think that's an absurd conversation to have. Mm-hmm. But I believe in toxic masculinity in women. I believe that generationally we're carrying a type of energy that we were not built to carry across the board, right? And listen, for the record, you can choose, be, do, become anything you choose to be. This is me and my truth, and there are women who run in packs like me, right? And so that's what I'm speaking to. I'm not speaking to anyone else's energy. I'm speaking to mine and the pack of women that run with me, okay?
Right.
But when you generationally are carrying something, it's way heavier and it becomes toxic in women. We have become even logical to the point that we don't understand our own logic, right? So we want masculine men. I need a protector, I need a provider, and you better come correct, and you better do this, and you better be high value, and you better be all of these things, right? Oh, but then don't sexualize me. Don't ask me for sex. Don't talk to me about what I'm wearing or pick out my clothes or tell me don't do any of those things. So I want you to be a man, but now I want to check mark some things and cross some shit off. Like it's not a prototype that we're creating, right? Either we want you to be the masculine men that we need to survive as feminine women, or we don't. But we want to pick and choose, and we want to, we're living in this logical, hardened state of toxicity. And then we've incorporated our own feminine generational curses on top of then carrying these masculine energy. And then we say things like, well, when the right man shows up, I'm just going to be feminine. No, you're not. That's not how, it's not how it fucking works. I've had to practice being a feminine woman. I've had to practice and learn to be receptive. I've had to practice and learn to be teachable. You can best believe you can go back down the list of men that I know over the last 7 years that are my friends, and they can tell you how unreceptive I was to the truth of what was really going on with my own self, that they could clearly see that I couldn't, right? We as women are out here telling all the fucking men what we think they should do. Y'all need to do this and y'all need to do that. No, what needs to happen is that we need to rectify our own shit. We need to take care of the masculine energy that we have. We need to choose one or the other. We cannot walk around with our chest bowed out saying that we're feminine because, we wear high heels every day. Or, I'm feminine because I'm submissive in the bedroom. Baby, none of that shit has anything to do with it. We're talking about an energy that has existed since before what we know as this world has existed. Right? We didn't make this shit up today. All right. We didn't get up today and, we have these two new energies and we don't know what male and feminine, male and female. Yes, we do. Right? We need to be immersed in feminine energy so that we can at least balance ourselves out. There's going to be plenty of women who stay in their masculine. I get that. But for the women who truly want to heal, and you keep saying, blaming the men for the men that you pick, you blaming them for picking them, and not taking any accountability for ourselves, then we just stay back to the love. Oh, I got hurt by love. He dogged me. He did these things. He did those things. But what did you do, baby? Not to him to provoke the behavior. It's not what I'm saying. But what did you do in your choosing of him? What did you do to heal yourself before you chose him? What trauma did you work through? What behaviors did you practice? Who do you really want to be in all of this? Right? Because I was made for a man, and a man was made for me. And at the end of the day, men were made for women and women for men. And for those who weren't made for them, then go about, be all of those things, right? Be all of that, because I'm not here for any reason to judge, or change mine. But if we as women want this protector, provider, we need to understand that we need to take accountability for ourselves, and we need to worry about what we're doing. Let the men work out their own shit. Let y'all talk through it amongst y'allself. Who do y'all want to be? Who do y'all want to become? Y'all talk about that, right? Because I don't speak on men. I support them 100%. I absolutely value and appreciate and honor. Black men are the most important, valuable, amazing creatures on this earth, literally. They are undervalued, devalued, emasculated, humiliated, and I support them in their every endeavor that they have. Period. Bottom line, right? Because at the end of the day, I have two beautiful, magically melanated men that I am raising, right?
Yes.
So I'm to believe in them till my last breath and into the next universe, right?
Yes.
And I'm going to support them.
Yes.
But they have to rectify that as well as black men. But what I'm rectifying within myself is who I am as a fucking woman and how I feel like women should be at this point and where we should be steering our direction. And it ain't at y'all. It needs to be on us as again, as a collective unit. When we get to these healing places, we need to show up. I don't like the word humble at all, but we need to show up in a place where we remember how broken we really were back then and what we weren't receptive to. Because we're not only not receptive to men and unteachable, we're not receptive to other women either. We don't like anybody. We don't like men, we don't like women, right? How many women you run across now? I don't even like, I'm one of them. I'm not a fan of women. But we can't keep going the way we're going. You know how people say, how's that working for you? How's it working for you?
Yeah.
Because it masculine woman thing wasn't working for me. Right? So I became something else.
Exactly. Okay.
Fucking amazing, masculine, beautiful men.
Okay. To catch on, okay, I'm gonna go with this one right here. I went and looked at some of your shows, like I said. And I just would like for you just to give a small little outscale of what these shows were about. I went on to what's the name? It's not Podbean, it's the other one. Yes. And I wrote down the titles because it's very interesting. So I was like, I'm gonna ask her this, you know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying, I wrote down each one. And I'm just gonna ask you, I'm just gonna say the title. And you just give me a little piece, give us a little piece of what to expect when somebody listen to it. So the first show that you had that I wrote down was Love Languages. What was that one?
Because I think they're absurd.
Really?
And I think they're absurd. And I talk about them.
Put me on the right track. When you say love languages, what you mean? Like
the 5 love languages, like, I'm physical touch and, buy me a gift and I don't know all of them. I actually have them written down. And love languages. Love languages. Like,
okay.
Yeah. The 5 love languages.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
The concept is absurd, and that's what the show is about.
Okay. Men and what they have been taught. What about that?
What was it?
Men and what they have been taught.
Was that a recent one?
I didn't look at the date of it, but it was right after that love language. So I figured new to old. Like,
So I talk a lot, and I'm gonna assume that's what this one is on as well too. I talk a lot about how men perpetrate the false narratives for women, and then what were they taught to make them think that was okay to do? So in other words, the men that come on the screen and go, they say shit like, if she's not talking to you, you need to worry about that. When she's talking to you, that means she still cares. When she stops talking to you. Now, I could be wrong because that was a very brief title that is on there. And I didn't obviously say who was on there, what was going on, but this is what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
And so men are out there pushing this narrative thinking, I don't know what they're thinking that it's okay. But at the end of the day, again, I should not be, and you should not be, and none of us should be in a relationship where we feel the need to punish someone by a silent treatment or no sex or not doing their laundry or cooking. None of us should be in relationships where we feel the need to punish another person, right? But men are out here pushing those type of narratives that if a woman's not punishing you with her silence, then, you know, you get your shit together or whatever, you know, she punishes you with one of the, and I think that's might have been what it was. Cause I did a show recently. There was a TikTok video.
I saw that.
And the guy was talking about how, you know, you know, most men only get unconditional love from their mama, but most of them don't even get it from their mama.
Yeah.
And I'm going through a whole writer thing with that thing right now. Trust and believe. I got a million different ideas about that in my head. But so, and I spoke kind of on the same thing. Like, what have we done to our men? Like, what are we doing? What are we doing as women to y'all? You know what I mean? It doesn't matter what y'all are doing to us, because that's y'all's responsibility. That's on y'all. That's y'all's accountability. What are we doing? What are our men being taught that they think because they have a little knowledge that they can promote more pain and toxicity in a relationship? It could be. It'd be a whole nother show, Cooks.
No, you might be you're really right, because the next title was toxic dating.
Oh, that was an interesting show. Somebody came on or I talked to somebody and they were saying that their friend was toxically dating. Like, I don't know what they were doing exactly, right? But that was the conversation, was definitely about, like, can just your dating habits be toxic? You know, like, for instance, I still have not done a show on it, but I still saved this thread in my phone because I met this guy and he kept saying I was too good to be true, and whatever. Story of my life. I just had a cover photo up on my Facebook that said my red flag is that I'm too good to be true. So, but he kept on with the shit, right? And so I'm chit-chatting with him, and I get in the shower, and while I'm in the shower, he's texting me like this big long story about a dream, and I don't know, then it went very sensual and whatever, right? Again, I don't mind. I'm not the woman that minds. You guys are sexual creatures. I'm not offended. If you take it too far, I'm gonna fucking say something, but I allow a man to be a man. I don't have a problem with that shit, right? Like, if you need to express yourself sexually to me, boo, do you, okay? I'm not mad about it, right? Just don't be disrespectful, you know, you met me, so you know, you just kind of know that I wouldn't be like that anyway. Like, right? Like, I don't give off the whole come feel me up anytime you want to vibe, right?
Right.
But sometimes, you know, people are, so anyway, he says, when I get out of the shower, there's all these texts about the dream, and then there's hello, did you disappear on me? Did I scare you off? Oh, I should have fucking known, you're fucking tripping or something. And I was like, and I politely said, that comment right there, that whole last paragraph that you just did, is the reason why I'm not going to be continuing a conversation with you any further than this, right? I was very truthful and honest. I didn't ghost him. I said, because of this, and he said, I'm just fucking with you. Now you insulting my intelligence, because baby, I got fucking words for days. You're not gonna take what you said and act like I twisted it around and I insulted myself with your shit, right? I heard what you said, and you just don't say, you know what I mean? You just don't put fuck in certain areas in me, you know. So, but this is what's toxic, I think, is that as soon as you get involved with someone and you know that they're just like the last chick you did, why are you bothering? Why you keep going? Why you keep doing it, right? Stop what you're doing, stop doing it, and figure out what you're doing. And there's also, I think, toxic dating too, is that we've turned into a bunch of liars, or people who omit. Oh, this is going to be a really good show tomorrow. I promise you it's going to be lit. But people who omit. So people who are in the lifestyle, which I kind of sort of am considered in the lifestyle because I'm not a monogamous creature currently. goal is monogamy, but because I'm not a monogamous creature, because I'm considered polyamorous, I guess, at the end of the day. But
Polyamorous.
it's neither here nor there at the end of the day. But the toxic dating too is that we're dating and we're just fucking lying, right? Like we're telling men, you're the one, oh, I'm not talking to nobody else, and you got a couple little guys on the side or whatever. I don't do that shit. I don't have these type of problems because I'm like this. Yes, I'm in an open relationship, and you know, if you want to, we can be non-monogamous, but this is, you know, I had a guy approach me recently, and he said, well, what if you fall in love with me? And I said, what if I do fall in love with you? Like, it's a probability. I fall in love with everybody. I love people. Like, it's probable if you fuck with me that I would fall in love with you. He was like, but I mean, like, fall in love with me. And I was like, it doesn't matter what happens between us. We have an end date. And he was like, what you mean? What's the date? I go, I don't know what the date is. It could be 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 years. But no matter what, when it comes to you and I, there's an end date. But people don't say that kind of shit to each other, right? They want to date and see what their options are instead of being open with the options that they have. And then they cause more chaos and confusion amongst themselves. And then all of a sudden, I don't want to fucking date anymore. Well, bitch, was you doing it right in the first place? Like, was you really dating properly? And listen, I mean, most of us at this point are at least polyamorous, if nothing else. We all have multiple lovers at this point. Let's just be fucking honest, okay? I'm not saying monogamy is not possible by any means, but if you're just fucking dating, you have multiple partners. And these women out here lying and shit, listen, I don't want to hear about the men, all right? Rectify your own shit so you know when a man is lying to you. It's real simple, you know what I mean? There are people who choose monogamy. I know them. I've run across them. I am one of them. I think monogamy is a beautiful choice. But I choose it for myself for, you know, different reasons than other people choose it for. But all of the lying and deceit and deception that's going on in dating, you know, and then again, pointing fingers, and you're in the middle of it. You're in the middle of the deception. You're doing dirt too, you know, but, oh, I got hurt by him. It's fucking toxic as shit. Just be honest. People are going to fall off whether you're honest or whether you lie. So
I'm guessing that episode and the next episode behind that one was toxic behaviors. So them kind of went together, right? They kind of rolled off each other, right?
Right, because a lot of people say toxic behaviors. That's kind of a multi-level thing too. A lot of people say toxic behaviors, but they're just not a behavior for them, right? So like, there's women who are in love with men that they trust wholeheartedly, or whatever their relationship is, everything is good and gravy. Nobody's doing no dirt. They're healed. They're whole. Whatever. He likes to go out twice a month with his boys, right? He stays out till the club closed. They go to eat. He normally comes in at 3:00 on the dot. No questions asked, right? No fuss, no foul, no arguments, nothing. That's what, on those nights, she does whatever she does, right? Takes a bath, goes gets a pedicure, whatever she does, gets a yoni treatment, whatever, right? They have a beautiful life together. There's no qualms, there's no issues. It's peaceful, it's happy, joyful. Another chick would say that that's a toxic behavior, him going out twice a night. What does he need to go out with his boys for? Why does he need to do that? Where are they going? What are they doing? You see what I'm saying? So we can't assume that everything is a toxic behavior. If it's a behavior that don't work for you, cool. But if it's not abusive, if you're not projecting hate onto someone else, you know what I mean? Then it's not a toxic behavior. It's a behavior that you're not okay with. Yeah. You know, again, words are important. You know, some men don't like loud women. I use this all the time. I'm loud as shit. I'm fucking loud. I'm just loud. I'm fashionably loud. I'm affectionately loud. I'm joyfully loud. I'm loud.
Wow.
And people will be like, oh, she's so fucking loud. My woman, I can't have no woman. That's toxic. It's not toxic. I know a man who loves how loud I am, that I live out loud and I love out loud and I am out loud. He loves it, every bit of it. So Another thing about words and us fucking them up. Like it's not necessarily a toxic behavior,
Mm-hmm. So,
Might be,
the, I'm sorry. Say what you say. I ain't mean to interrupt you. What you say?
he said it might be something else.
True. Yeah. Yeah. No. Oh. Well, man, that right there goes pretty cool with this next one, shifting the language with women so that femininity can shine, which you pretty much said in so many words right then on that last part because being loud, not being quiet, like, speaking out, shining, being heard, you know what I'm saying? Especially when you got a purpose behind it or you coming from which you talked about in one of your shows I was watching just a little while ago. You was talking about being a survivor and how that ain't easy. You know what I'm saying? Which roll off of that because you know what I'm saying. From listening to you and your story and seeing how you have came up because you know where you was at what low points in your life where you was at. You know what I'm saying? Being a woman, being a mama. You know what I mean? And knowing how the world is and can be. And that's why you uh, are tough like you are. You know what I mean? But when you need to be, when you show it, like you show it, and when you need to be, like you ain't walking around like Mr. T. You know what I'm saying? Just trying to bully, push over, getting smart, cussing folks every time they ask you a question, and they just ask the question. You know what I'm saying? So, and then that femininity part of it is like you said, you know you look good. You know you fine. You know you happy, grand rising, soul inspired. Uh, you know what I'm saying? Your platform, how you read poetry. You never read poetry every morning. Whether it's for you or for someone else or just to put it out there in the universe. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like all that is a part of when you was talking about shifting the language. You know what I mean? I feel like all that is contained in that. You know what I'm saying? Um, being us and the accountability. You know what I'm saying? Speaking life. Something else I saw you. You put up a post about that, and I can actually kind of hear you saying it. You really have said that in so many words. You know what I'm saying? And I was wanting to touch into both parts because Black liberation. You know what I mean? You have showed. You know what I'm saying? You have showed much and applied much support and being a mom. You know what I'm saying? Of you know what I mean? So it's like, and you ain't got no problem with speaking out about it. Don't matter who cares what, like what. You know what I mean? But I wanted to talk about you and what you do first. You know what I'm saying? Because of, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's important to know who you are and why you are like you are. You know what I mean? And somebody else, just like me, need to hear it. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes I question myself, wondering what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you said, you hate that word humble, but it seems like I get that word all the time. Cookie so humble, cookie so humble, cookie so humble, cookie so humble. And then I had to put the puzzle pieces together because you'll be like, don't short, don't short yourself. Don't short being so humble to where you short yourself all the time. And I'm 42 years old, and it's like, wow, I'm just not getting it. You know what I mean? My mama told me as a boy, like, you're too nice. Stop sharing your lunch money. Stop sharing your snacks. Stop, you know what I'm saying? I work my ass off for that money right there for you, boy. I ain't working for them. I'm working for you. I'm looking at it like, my friends ain't had none. I just want to share with them.
Right.
So with all that being said, you know what I'm saying? I'm sorry I spoke so much of it. It's just, I get it. Like, I get it. You know what I mean? Like, what you be talking about, like, I get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really do get it. And it's more for me to get. You know what I'm saying? Just understanding, you know, the feminine thing, like you was talking about. It seems like me, it's so much, the eyes and the ears are so much on the men being feminized, forgetting that the woman, they trying to turn the woman into, into masculine.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Something else that you said, everything is sexualized, but everyone isn't gross. Remember when you said that?
I said everyone isn't
Everything,
sexualized.
everything is sexualized, but everyone isn't gross. You know what I'm saying?
Every
You was
gross.
having a conversation with your friend Gilly, and I forgot the black gentleman name, but and she was saying all type of stuff, and y'all was laughing and stuff, and you was saying that, guys, I know that everything is sexualized, but everybody isn't gross. You know what I'm saying? And when you said that, yeah, go ahead. I want you to touch that right there, because I understood what you meant, because sometimes I catch myself stop thinking like that. You know what I'm saying? But it don't mean that I'm nasty. You know what I mean?
I mean, and it does, and again, and this just goes to becoming who you're intended to be. Now, look, again, and I say this all the time, and it is what it is, but I'm not here projecting hate or telling people to stay in certain things or whatever. But what I'm saying is, right, everything is sexualized. My feet are sexualized. My,
Yeah.
your dick sexualized.
Yeah. That's
I
true.
mean, your body's sexualized. Women are sexualized. We sexualize ourselves, right? And then we're mad at other people. Like, we're mad when a man says, are you a woman who's not tatted, not pierced, and has natural beauty? Then women are like, oh, I can't believe you're talking about women like that. And women can be who the fuck they want to. Yes, they can. And a man can choose a woman for who he desires, right? I'm not offended if you're a man who wants a woman who's not tattooed, and then I'm not the girl for you and you're not the girl for me. Why the fuck? And you're not the man for me. Why am I hurt? Why are my feelings hurt, right? Shit that's illegal and again, hate and all of those things, but you can't call a guy who likes big ass girls, and I mean big girls, not big girls like me, big girls, but big girls like big girls, and they tearing up their rolls. That's none of our business. It's gross to you, but it's obviously not gross to them. Like, they see something, like everything's not my daughter actually. I'm telling you, my kids are my worst critics, okay? My daughter asked me one time if she thought I was if I fetishized black people. And I was like, are you fucking serious right now? You know what I mean? I was like, as a fetish, are you serious? Like, I've been in this motherfucking thing for a long time, Bertie. Don't you think, like that shit would wear off eventually? Kind of like, I went to school with girls with that thought, we were just getting into the, like, right after high school was when, like a lot of bisexual shit came out and everybody was like, oh, I'm just going to try it and see. And so people did it and it wasn't them. And then that was the end of it, and whatever. Or they slept. And my daughter threw that in my face the other day. She said, you told us you're either gay or you're straight or you're just freaky. And I still feel that way. I'm sorry. Are you gay or you straight or you want to do both? You freaky. That doesn't mean it's wrong that you're freaky. Again, we get judged in the lifestyles a lot. We get judged for that shit. It's
Right.
unnecessary judging people. I'm not gross. Oh my God, more than one husband. Gilly thinks I'll tell you right on here that I'm fucking selfish for ever considering that I would have more than one husband. And I'm just feeding the needs of my own selfish ass that I would. And I'm like, first of all, it's not like I'm forcing the men to choose me, right?
Right.
They would willingly and openly choose me. We would choose each other. And she was like, no, you're selfish. So, everything ain't what it looks like. Everything is not you just can't be like, oh, and then if we ever at any time in our lives feel that way through our evolution, then we immediately start to see ourselves as that way. Like, oh, oh, I can't think that way, or I can't do that. Somebody's going to feel some type of way. Baby, look, first of all, your sexual preference and what you do behind closed doors is really not anybody's business unless you choose to make it somebody's business. That's the first thing, right? So that means, let me tell you, like I tell them, and feel free to use this. Your perception of me is not my responsibility. I don't give a fuck what you think about me. If I ain't doing no illegal shit and I'm not projecting hate, y'all can say the fuck out of Miss Kim's face. That's how I feel about it. Because I ain't, like I tell my dogs when they begging me to eat, was I in your face when you was eating your dinner? No, I was not. So get the fuck out of mine while I'm eating my dinner. I didn't do that to you. Don't do it to me. Don't worry about what I got going on behind closed doors. If I want you to know, trust and believe, I will fucking tell you.
You tell it.
I'm fuck. I know if that's what I tell men all the time trying to holler at me. Let me tell you something not to do. Don't ask me no damn question that you're not ready for the answer for, because I'm not necessarily going to tell you something. But if you straight up ask me, oh, I'm going to tell you the truth, baby. Be ready, cause
it's coming.
You know.
Yeah, I already know. Hey, I know. I'm learning. I'm still learning, but I know. I know. Standing at the fence. I'm just looking. Pit bulls over there. That if you get over this fence, you got to work. So just stay here. I got you. I got you. Okay. Something I always do. You know what I'm saying? When I talk to people, I have a little bonus round at the end where I like to ask them two things and let them pick which one they like the best. And with you, I was like, I'm gonna find some stuff that's particularly for her, and listen to her answer, because I think it'd be fun to hear it. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? Once again, I just want to say thank you once again for all the information and stuff you broke down. We will have to do a part 2 because and you know, I would love to come where y'all at and, you know, kick it with y'all too and talk and ask some questions just as a, you know, a fan and as just a invitee, and talk and meet your peoples and be cool with y'all too. And because you never know when somebody might have a question or something you need to ask somebody, and it's good to be able to network with people that don't mind, you know what I mean? So anyway, let's get into this Cruise 24 bonus round with Miss Kim. You know what I'm saying? And people in the chat is here now. Y'all can play too, so leave your answers. You know what I'm saying? So we'll start with this one right here. You're a day person or night person?
Day.
Day? Okay. And if there's anyone you want to elaborate on to say why, that's fine. You know.
Just go to bed early. That's the only reason. Like if I'm up, I'm up. But for the most part, 9 o'clock, you're lucky if I see it. You're lucky if I see 9 o'clock.
Okay. Heels or sandals?
Heels. Heels. Absolutely 100% heels.
Okay. Plans or surprises?
I have severe anxiety. Plans do not work well for me. But I like to surprise and do shit. Like I like to do shit, you know, and surprise people.
What's more important for you, the nails or the hair?
Well, my hair, and my hair. But you know, I don't really do anything. Dogs want to be on the air. I mean, I really don't. I used to just cut my own hair, but now I have an amazing barber.
Okay.
He's dope. And so, but I've always cut my hair, dyed my hair. I do my own. I don't do my nails, but when I do them, I do them. I do my own toes. I'm that girl. So I don't wear any makeup. You know, I have to check the filters on TikTok because I don't even know if if I'm doing it, it's not on purpose. So I'm like, oh, I think I had a filter on, and you know, I'm just so. But hair.
Okay. Liquor or wine?
Liquor.
For real?
Bourbon.
For some reason I would think it would be wine because it seems like I would see you with the glass, with the big tall glass.
Yeah, So the majority of the time I do drink wine. Don't get me wrong, but I am a bourbon on the rocks girl. When I go day drinking a couple days a week at my local bar, and I get bourbon on the rocks, it's what I do. I'm probably gonna go have when I get off this damn show, I'm
Okay.
probably gonna have.
Okay. I ain't gonna hold you. Hey, I ain't gonna hold you. You know what I'm saying?
When I'm cooking, I'm the half naked music dancing wine chick in the kitchen. I'm her. I'm
Comfortable.
her.
Comfortable. Got you.
My face in the kitchen. Yeah,
Okay.
cooking. So
This
I'll drink
this
wine.
so this is gonna be fun. Work hard or play hard?
Play hard.
Play hard. Okay.
But I work my ass off for the fucking record. I work all the time. So
Are you a loner or are you a team player?
I'm a loner. I'm a
Loner.
non-conformist. I'm not good on teams. I did teams when I was younger, but yeah, I'm definitely.
Definitely. Okay. Um, would you rather win the lottery of your choice or meet your soulmate? Which one would you pick?
I would definitely want to meet my soulmate.
You really? Pick the soulmate. Now you can, if you want to explain why, you can. If not, we'll just take it.
Well, he's already here. and because again, I'm going to stand on what I said at the beginning of this show, and there's nothing more important than love. Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I can find all the money in the world. I can create all the wealth that I need. I can be a multi-billionaire, and I will be, and I am a multi-billionaire. But you cannot orchestrate a soulmate and love. It just is what it is. It happens when it happens. And if there was both options standing in front of me, I would always choose him.
Gotcha.
Always. In all ways.
And hey, but that's good. But yeah, that's more power. Hey, that's the type of energy that you're talking about that you have to put out. You know what I'm saying? That's how you make stuff stay strong. You keep putting it out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Intelligence or a sense of humor?
Intelligence.
Intelligence.
Because I'm fucking hilarious. So if you're weak in that department, it's all good. I got us. But baby, you got to be able to talk to me.
Yeah.
We got to be able to conversate.
Yeah, you gotta be able to conversate, though. You gotta be able to do that. That's a must. Cause you can't just sit there and just crack a joke, and if it ain't funny, you gotta figure out where you're gonna go. You know what I mean? Podcast or radio?
Ooh, I wouldn't mind doing radio. I wouldn't mind doing. I mean, it wouldn't bother me a bit, but I love my podcasting. I'm not restricted. I say what I want. You know what I mean? And I know that there's rules and regulations. And so the conforming on the radio part with
Okay. Poolside or park adventure?
poolside.
Poolside. Okay. Intro or extrovert?
Ooh, I'm kind of both.
Really?
Mostly I'm a homebody, but when I'm out, I'm fucking out. Like when I'm out, then I'm the, the talk of the town, the belle of the ball, whatever you want to say, when I'm out. But it's getting me out that's the problem, like getting me to a place.
Really?
But I don't mind going, and I love dressing up, but
You seem like you would. You seem like you would like to, like you seem like when I first met you, you seem like the type of person that would go out. But I don't mean like club. Like I don't talking about a place with 500 people there. I'm talking about like nice bar or just something where something nice and cool going on, and it ain't a bunch of ruckus. You know what I mean?
So now that I like low key, intimate, music, like a blues or a jazz band somewhere off in a hole in the wall somewhere. The bars I go to ain't real big. There's not a lot of people there. I go during the day, like I said something to Gilly today. I said, I go where I go, and the people are who the people are. I know everybody knows me, and that's where I'm comfortable, right?
Yeah.
But I don't do that much. I literally 2 days a week at the bar, and occasionally, because I don't feel like this is my kind of thing. But I don't feel like women should be out at night by themselves.
Gotcha.
So if I'm not with a man, I don't want to go out at night. That's just me. Because oh, you can come, and I don't want to. And I think that part of me, puts me in the introvert category, I guess. But that's okay too. I don't mind staying home.
Yeah.
A little. I'm
Yeah.
good. Like, no, I'm straight. I'm her. Like, I'm. What you want to eat?
Yeah.
Let's
yeah.
cook.
That's cool. I'm with it. Okay. Now
Yeah.
that's dope though. So, but you okay? All right. That's there's nothing wrong with that either. There's nothing wrong with that at all. He gonna want to make you laugh. You're a ketchup person or ranch?
Ooh. So here it is. This is the ultimate right here. I'm a fucking Gemini. We do not have there are times when we don't have like people like, what's your favorite artist? Don't have one. Favorite color? I could go with purple because it is my go-to. However, I fucking like a lot of colors, right? Do I have a favorite pizza? No. A favorite food? No. Like, and this is one of those things. I do ketchup on shit probably ketchup shouldn't be on.
Really?
And then I do and I'm like that with tartar sauce. Like, I get tartar sauce on my chicken sandwiches. It's the best, right? And I eat ketchup on my eggs and hash browns, on my runny eggs and hash browns.
Okay, that ain't bad. I've seen that. That ain't bad.
Shit like that. So, I mean, I do both, though, is my point. I'm a ranch and a ketchup girl, honestly.
Okay.
I'm both. So,
both of them.
not together, though.
Okay. Okay, I got you. All right. Okay. Okay. How about this? Are you a person that look at the glass as half full or half empty?
Oh, there's a meme about this. It says, while y'all are arguing over the glass being half full or empty, I've already drank what was in it and filled it back up for a second shot.
Oh, okay.
So I'm finishing off the shit, whatever it is, and then I'm getting another damn drink.
Yes, that's perfect. That's perfect answer. Okay. All right. Okay. Reading or writing?
Writing.
Writing. I know you talked about that.
Yeah. I mean, I am a writer, but I mean, I do like to read, but I write more than I read.
Write more than you read? Okay. And when you write, are you like, when you write, and this is something I'm asking, like, are you writing poetry? Are you writing journal stuff? Are you writing ideas? Or are you just whatever?
All of it.
All of
like
it.
all
Right.
of it. I'm still like a pencil to notebook person.
Okay.
So I carry a notebook around. I carry pencil sharpener.
Yeah, you're right. I'm right there with you. I'm the same same way.
Like, I'm definitely I'm definitely like, in the stuff I put on TikTok. That's that's right then. Like, that just comes out. That just is part of what's pouring out of me lately. You know what I mean? Like, once you're inspired, I mean, you can't really shut that kind of shit off. You know what I mean?
Do you come up with that stuff yourself?
Yeah, I write that stuff.
All that is yours. Oh,
Yeah.
Damn. Because sometimes I see you and you'll be doing like this. You know what I mean? You be doing like this. Because I be doing that. And I'm like, so I'm thinking, because one show, you was like, I ain't read nothing today because I got something to do. I was like, oh.
I write that. That's not like quoted shit. I write that shit.
My bad.
Okay, so for the record, so y'all don't know, if you don't follow me on TikTok, it's very sensual sometimes.
Yeah.
And very, very sexy.
It's eye-opening. You know what I'm saying?
It's a lot of love stuff too. Like some deep ass love shit too.
Yes, yes, it is.
Yeah.
Logic or emotion?
Come on, that's man and woman. That's balance. They're both necessary. They're
Okay.
both necessary.
Okay. All right. What about growth and security?
What about growth or
Growth,
security?
security.
Growth. Growth. Because with growth, you can get, certain things are attained through other things.
Okay. Now this was the first for me, and I believe you'll help me understand it.
Uh-oh.
Apathy or obsession?
Okay, so
Teach me something. Teach me something. I'm listening.
I think that there is probably a line. However, let me say this. I'm trying to word it properly because there's some big shit going on behind the scenes that is being worked on, and I want to make sure that I, protect that. But a lot of words get a lot of bad meaning to them, and we don't consider anything positive from it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like obsession is one of them, right? And I think you can be healthily, if that's a word, healthily
Healthily, yeah, it's a
obsessed.
word.
I feel like you can be healthily obsessed with somebody, right? I feel like, I know for a fact I need a man, and I'm not afraid to say that, and people come for me all the time, right? And I think that being in love, you can be obsessed with worshiping your man. You can be obsessed with encouraging him. You could be obsessed with uplifting him. Doesn't always have to be, so I say all that to say I'm going with obsession because I want to be obsessed with you. I want you to be obsessed with me. I want our love to speak louder than any other love has spoken, right? Fuck everybody else and what their goals are. Right? That we
Right.
should not be fooling ourselves to all these people and all these celebrities and all these other entities that are in the forefront of the media,
Mm-hmm.
right? Be setting who we are and choosing people who match who we are and becoming obsessed with that love. Absolutely. So obsession.
Obsession. Okay. All right.
Obsession.
Okay. Now,
Fuck what you heard,
what's
cooks.
the? I'm trying. Okay. I'm trying to keep it together here because you got me going. I'm trying to keep it together here. Okay. Okay. Now, I got these last four right here are like my ones that I feel like are really kind of like deep. Uh,
Oh,
so I definitely well no, it's actually I found a new one. So and it'll be interesting to hear what you pick between these because I feel like we deal with these and these are like everyday ones. So
okay.
this first one, I believe I know which way you're gonna go, but I'm gonna still ask it to you anyways. It's probably simple as hell. Uh, honesty or kindness?
Ooh, honesty or kindness. I mean, that's really hard for me because I tend to be kind more so than honest. But I think it depends on your situation. Like when when I was dating, I would rather be kind than really like, I don't want to tell a guy he's boring or, you know what I mean? Like that kind of shit. But for the most part, of course, to be honest, but that doesn't give you permission to be unkind either, if you're being honest. Like you can be honest and be kind. Although sometimes it's challenging. So I feel like, the best thing is to just be like, listen, in certain situations again, right? But if your boy's walking around with his dick all on one side and his balls shoved up and he looks a fucking hot mess, you need to tell him to pull his fucking pants out of
Put
his
his
shit,
hands
right?
up. Yeah.
Going out and she does not need to be wearing what she's wearing, then you need to fucking say something. If I have a booger in my nose at dinner, I don't expect you to sit there and look at it. I expect you to tell me that I have a fucking booger in my nose. You can't be mad.
Exactly.
But again, again, there's certain very few situations where, you might want to choose a little kindness in your honesty.
Okay, cool. I feel the same way. I feel the same because I wouldn't leave nobody if somebody had a piece of lint right here. You know what I mean? And I wouldn't let you. I'd say, hey, and hey, yo, do this right here. You know what I'm saying? Hey, right there. You know what I'm saying? Or hey, go in the bathroom right quick and check it out. You need to check it out right quick, folks. You know what I mean?
Because it ain't me. Look, it's not me. It's not me. You check yourself. Let me know. I'm not suggesting anything.
I got a little homeboy. I know what I'm saying. I got a little homeboy that's one of my coworkers. He like 17, 18, and he just now started like wearing his belt and got his hair cut, and like he growing up in front of us, and we've been all kind of hip, throwing him little pointers. And one day he was kind of hot. You know what I'm saying? You know how you can smell the hot off, the hot. So I had some new cologne, because I take cologne with me everywhere I go. So I took my cologne with me. I was like, hey, man, I sprayed it twice. And I was like, check this out. Smell good, don't it? Bow, bow, bow. Smell good, don't it? He was like, man, yeah, I like this. I like it. And he hit it one more time without even...
being honest.
Yeah. You see what I didn't have to go through because I was like that.
Kind.
Yeah. Just in a comedic way, but it worked. It worked. But anyway, I'm sorry.
Kindness, there are honest people who aren't necessarily kind. Exactly, I agree. Spade, I agree.
That's my big brother, Spade. Would you rather have the ultimate awareness or the ultimate confidence?
I can't answer that because I'm already fucking uber confident. Like, I don't give a damn about what anybody says. I'm the shit. I'm dope as fuck, and I let everybody know. And if, again, you don't like it, you ain't got to. But baby, I didn't get dope on. Oh, it just happened. I worked at it, so I feel like I have a right. So I'm definitely, yeah. What was it? Confidence or
the ultimate awareness?
Yeah, ultimate awareness would be dope for me. I would love to be ultimately aware of every issue I had to resolve immediately.
Okay.
Make me
that was dope.
Shit.
Ambition or comfort?
Oh, absolutely ambition, because comfort will fucking kill you. Comfort will kill you. And I mean that, let me say this. I say this to my C's all the time, and it's important. Mm-hmm. And maybe it'll resonate with somebody. You have to understand that a lot of the reason that we as adults do not change is because we become comfortable in a certain type of energy.
Yep.
And it doesn't have to show up exactly like the last energy, but you have to look at the energy in its entirety.
Yep.
And I tell my kids, and I talk about comfortability where they're at. And it's not complacency, it's something different. All right. It's something different. They're comfortable in an energy that doesn't suit them, but because that's the way they were raised and that's the energy they were raised in, when they're in that energy, they're comfortable in it. But because they're evolved and evolving, they're uncomfortable in it. And I tell them all the time, you have to learn to be uncomfortable and understand that you're going to be uncomfortable if you want to move forward. You have to be able to go of that. My oldest son calls me after we've been having this conversation multiple times, and he calls me one day and he goes, Mom, I get it. You want me to be uncomfortable in my comfortableness so that I can become uncomfortable to change. And I was like, yeah, that's what I want you to do. That's what I need you. You have to be uncomfortable. And it is uncomfortable. Physical kind of change. True. Things that happen within your body that create an actual uncomfortableness. But you can get uncomfortable in financial lack. You can get comfortable in that energy. And you can move through your life in that energy. It might not look the same. Like I went, and I'm just being transparent, from paycheck to paycheck, right? Sometimes not even that, to be honest. I'm just using that for the easiest thing to say. Paycheck to paycheck, robbing Peter to pay Paul, pushing shit around and all that, right? And then I started doing real estate, Well, shit, I'm making $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 a deal. What you mean? I make that damn deal money come in. I'm frugal as fuck. I don't have credit cards, car payments. I can sit on that money for months.
Mm-hmm.
So then guess what happens? Then I went from living paycheck to paycheck to deal to deal. I wasn't out flaunting my money, spending it, acting stupid, all of those things. I just sat on it. I was comfortable. I knew how long I could go. I knew what I could do. I knew how long that money would last me, right? Pay a couple of months rent, pay up my electric and water. I ain't got nothing else. My phone bill, my car insurance, shit like that. And now, guess what? I can sit for 3 or 4 months and not do a fucking thing. But then, I'm down to money. Now, all of a sudden, I got to get my hustle back on and I got to grind. Last $20, $40 again.
Yeah.
I had $6,000 in my account. And now, I'm 3 months, right? I blew it, but because I just didn't, you know what I'm saying? I'm comfortable there. Boy, that shit hit me like a fucking pack of bricks. You hear me? I was like, damn. Because I said, why do I keep ending up right here? And it just, as quick as I said it, it hit me. I went from paycheck to paycheck to deal to deal. I'm comfortable in that energy. I'm comfortable in that energy. See? And we got to get out. That's the one thing we got to get out of. You got to get comfortable in that energy that you used to, period. Because you got to get into a whole nother energy. You know, when you're talking about manifesting and creating shit, you got to do something different.
True. That was, yeah. You taught me something right then, you know what I mean? Because, you know, it's just, I can see now when I look back at some of the things I feel like slowed me down. And instead of me making a change, I just sat there. And sometimes I feel like I need to get rid of that trait. I feel like I get that from my grandma. I just sit there and, you know, I just sit there sometimes until I get tired of it. But it's like, you know, I could have been 29 days ahead if I had just done it then. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you know, just like, I mean, quick example, just like with the Podbean thing. You know what I mean? It's like when you told me when you told me you was on Podbean, I was like, damn, you know what I'm saying? I went on there, subscribed, I listened, and then it's automatically, I'm like, damn, I need to get on my shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need to get it. I already had an account. I already had, you know, some shows on there that I had just experimented with, but then I just left it alone. And it's like somebody else fire made me want to light up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like, but now, okay, you done did your part. Inspired. Right. You're inspired. Now, it's all up to me now to wheel on off. Or am I just going to just sit there? Or am I going to hit the gas, you know?
Right. You're going to sit in the comfortable energy that, oh, I did a little something. You know, I always do a little something, right? But, you know, it's the completion. You know what I'm saying? You know? And I you already know, I do it. You better go do it. You better hurry up. You better quit playing around. You know, and then to talk about, for everybody to talk about. No, but there's not, you know, that lack mentality. You know, that's a lot of the that's a lot of the comfortability. We're just so used to that lack mentality anyway. You know, we think there's nothing to go around. There's not enough topics. There's too many podcasters. There's too many people talking. There's too many creators. There's too many platforms. It's not ever going to be. There's fucking 7.9 billion people in the world.
And countries, don't forget.
Yeah, I mean, period. So, yes.
You know what I mean? And just my last one. Respect or loyalty. And why?
Respect or loyalty? Fuck. That's really hard because to me, I feel like you can almost have loyalty without respect. And I mean that maybe not in the deepest way, but I feel like you can. So like, ooh, that's really hard. because I don't know how you could have one without the other. I don't know how you could have, I guess you could have loyalty without respect, but I don't know, can you respect someone and not give them loyalty? I don't think you can do it reverse, right? I don't think you can be, respect somebody. Like I hold you, I'm totally respectful of you, but I'm not loyal to you.
Yeah.
So it means at some point, so let's look at the verbiage.
Okay.
If I'm not loyal to you, the real word is that I'm disloyal to you. So how can I respect you as a person, but then I choose disloyalty, right? But can I be loyal to you and not necessarily respect you? I think you can be loyal to somebody and not necessarily respect them. I lost a shit ton of respect in the last few years of my relationship, and I was loyal to his ass. I'm not saying it was healthy. I'm not saying it you know, but it was there. I was loyal out of obligation, probably more so, but you could still do that. So, but loyalty is so important nowadays. You know what I mean? People just aren't down for each other. They're not, you know, that we don't have village raising our kids anymore. You know, you don't want the motherfucker to smack your kid upside their damn head, but the minute they act up at your house, then you mad about how they acting. But beat their ass then. Don't call me with the bullshit, beat the shit out of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't mean like child abuse or anything, but I'm saying like everybody got to switch and all that. And you know, listen, I say that I spank my kids. I was a spanker, and I'm not a grandma yet, but when I am a G mama, I don't know that I'm going to spank them, but that's because I have all this knowledge now, and I know how to operate in a different manner. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But still, until we shift that, we got a whole shift we have to do now. We have to shift from the village to nobody, and then back to this like old wise woman and old wise man of the village, taking care of the village again, right? We moved out. We have lost a generation of grandmamas and Sunday dinners and that type of structure. You know what I'm saying? We've lost a whole fucking generation of that. You know, I tell people all the time, and I don't know if you think about this, but you need to. This will probably be the deepest shit I'm about to say on this show for real. We need to really consider, I'm 52 years old, and right now, I'm the patriarch of the family right now. My mom and daddy don't pull together. There's no Sunday dinners at their houses. I'm the one that's going to be responsible. It's going to be my generations. I'm the fucking soil and the root now, right? And so everything that comes from me, there's nobody above me to do it. I don't know if we have taken that into consideration in this generation, that we're the one, we can't, oh, she was the one who held the family together and now we're not going to be, man, fuck that shit. I'm not losing my family behind a death. First of all, if I leave, the last thing when I transition that I want is for my family to disperse, right? We're the wise ones now. We lost a generation of wise women and men, and now I feel like, personally, that those wise men and women are coming back. I'm a wise woman. I consider myself wise. I consider me finally walking around in the knowledge. Wisdom is knowledge applied. That's what I'm doing. I'm applying the knowledge that I have gained over the last 7 years to heal my spirit and become the woman I need to be for my seeds and my seeds. I need for that to happen. I need for them to be able to see me. I need to be able to step in their lack for my seeds, right? I need to have a home established, financial literacy for them to come back to, right? It's not just about a home. It's about a fucking home. It's about never not having a place to lay your fucking head. I don't care who you are or where you came from. You should not be without. And now we're responsible for creating that again because it's gone. So we're now responsible. I have to do that. I have to make sure that when my three have theirs, that I'm there and that they know who I am, that their seeds know, you know, come home. You come home every week. You come home as much as possible. Have the money in my account to be like, bam, I'm flying everybody in from wherever for this weekend at the house, right? There's so much that needs to be done. and got me all worked up for no reason at the last minute. But anyway, it's important that we understand who we are now as the healing whole people and the generation that we are, that we're moving forward, and what our responsibility is to ourselves and keeping our family unit the way it should be, feminine, masculine. I have these conversations with my daughter. She's not always receptive, but at the same time she is. You know what I mean? And I'm going to keep talking to it, not to change her mind. I'm not trying to change her mind. I'm trying to change her heart.
Gotcha.
I'm trying to change her heart, right? Period. And that's why I do what I do, because you have to make the decision to be better. You have to make the decision to heal. You have to make the decision that you are going to become, and then make the decision to become that person. But again, like we talked about in the front, we can stir up some dialogue. We can plant a seed. We can have a conversation. We can do something.
Yes. I was going. You actually killed two birds with one stone right then, because you answered the last. Actually, you actually killed three of them, because what you did was you actually answered the two-parter, and then you gave me your what you call it on it, and then you gave some great words for people that need to hear it, and the ones that been listening, coming in and out. You know what I'm saying? I definitely am inspired by you, Ms. Kim. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know what I'm saying? You definitely a pretty lady and all that. You know what I'm saying? So the flirting is natural. You know what I'm saying? But it's a mature. You know, because you get it all the time, like you said. Every time, like you said, and open the inbox. You know, TikTok. You know, they always coming at you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's natural. But then once I listened to you and I got to hear the conversations, I got to see the friends that you had, and when I came on there once or twice and spoke, everybody spoke back nicely. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's really attractive, and that's what's really cool, and that's what's really make you want to come back, that you accept it amongst others that's doing the same that you doing. Don't matter who in the front, who in the back. The person in the back, person in the front, treating the person in the back the same way. You know what I'm saying? One a saying for me that I always held on to is, you can tell type of person a person is by how they treat the janitor. You know what I'm saying? If you can be nice to the janitor and the trash man and the mailman and you should be cool with anybody. You know what I'm saying? And if it don't sound right, like you were saying earlier, one of your posts I had read that you had put up one time where you said, the respect, I'm gonna match your respect, but also I'm gonna match your disrespect.
Exactly.
So don't, and exactly. I believe that little thing on one of there, I think you said, don't try me, or don't play me, don't play. Yes.
Play with it.
Play with it. That's it. You know what I mean? So,
because baby,
I already know. Yeah, hey, I already know. You told me. I got you. I'm just messing with you. So, but yeah, I done held you long enough. You know what I'm saying? I didn't think I was gonna hold you this long, but you know what I mean. All your answers were great. I like how you explained everything. I definitely want to talk with you again, whether it's on your platform. I would love to come over there and chat with y'all. I'm definitely going to invite you back here. I'm going to let some time go by, let more things happen and escalate. So when I holler at you, we'll have more to talk about. Then also, there are things that I wrote down that I didn't get a chance to talk to you about, but just the way things were going, I wanted to keep it right there and just let you keep on breaking down like you was. I also want you, I know I talked a lot too, but I just want you to understand that I did my homework. You know what I mean? I really did, like, look, listen, you know what I'm saying, Google, I did all the shit, you know what I'm saying, even with the posts, you know what I'm saying? I just want you to know that I'm trying to be as serious as I can, because, like, you know what I mean, like, the way you do your stuff, it's kind of like, it's a lot like where I want to get to. Like, I want to be able to have a person that I can say, so-and-so, and then that thing will pop up on the screen like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get there. I enjoy doing it myself, and I enjoy collaborating with people, but I want to be like you. Like, I want to be like, I did this. I made this, put together, and I'm going to keep rocking And
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Like I want to, like I'm inspired by you, like for real, real, real. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I want to, like you know what I'm saying? Throw me some pointers sometime, or give me some advice sometime. You know what I mean? Like straight up, you know. And thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to chat with you. Would you mind letting people know where to find you again, as far as the platforms that you use the most?
Well, first of all, let me say to you that I appreciate you and I'm grateful for you and I believe in you. Like whatever it is that you choose to become, you are going to become that person. It's just that simple. You're going to. So, but just do it. Just actually get up and just, go do it because you have it in you. And you know what I'm going to say? You're valuable and you're important. You're worthy and you are truly needed by women, by your community, by your family. It's true. And it's a big responsibility, but it's a necessary responsibility. So I appreciate you for having me. And you do follow me
Right.
and I see you all the time. You share all my shit. You're on all my posts, and I appreciate you. Come to the show, and please, yes, come on the show. Come talk. Click on the link that's always in there. So on Tuesday night, so tomorrow night, and hopefully I have this guest on. Tomorrow's show is about omission and lying in the lifestyle community.
Okay.
But and I don't know that it applies to you, but whatever topic does, you can always come on. But all of my shows, you have the ability to come on and speak to me. You can come on in the middle and have a conversation. So on Sunday nights, it's 9 p.m. Central Time on Podbean. You do have to download the app. I am in love with Kimberly Michael across the board. I have Instagram, Facebook. I'm on Podbean. On YouTube, I am savagecom.entertainment. You can go there and subscribe. And then when it's my time for my show, it will populate you a notification that I have a show coming on. But Tuesday night, tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Central Time on YouTube. Okay. And then, and so for as of right now, that's the two that I have. There may be a third one coming.
Okay.
Or not.
And okay, well, see, you just answered my question. I was going to ask it as far as new things coming. I know you say you got one or two things that you can't talk about, but be expecting some stuff to come. And the new show coming up tomorrow at 9 on savage.com, YouTube. And
yep, 9 Eastern. Well, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. our time, Central Time.
Okay, that's right. I forgot. That's right. Because
I know it's I should go to one time too, but 9 p.m. on Sunday nights and 8 p.m. Tuesday nights. That's because he's on the East Coast. That's because my producer's on the East Coast. Jim Savage. Right. Y'all follow him too. He's got a whole bunch of shit going on. And it's savagecom.entertainment on YouTube, and then you can find. But all you have to do is literally Google "In Love with Kimberly Michael" or go to YouTube and put in "In Love with Kimberly Michael." Podbean, Anchor. My old shows are on like Spotify and a whole bunch of other Google. Okay. But that's That White Girl. That was a long time ago.
I saw that. Her. Yeah, I was looking at that. I said I saved that for part 2.
I saw you have a little logo.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Because that's you though. Like that's everything in that logo was you. That's you. Like that's you. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of self-explanatory, outspoken, beauty, smart, adventurous, risk taker. Huh? Say it again.
You put the picture up with me with a pistol in my pocket, and I was like, "Is that on purpose?" Can you do that?
I wouldn't do you like that.
No, I had a pistol on my hip in that one picture.
Oh, you did? I didn't know you did. Hold on, which one?
The striped sweater on the flyer. If you look on my hip, I got a pistol in my. Hey! Okay, so my children's home.
Okay, hey, wait, hey, I know you. I will be right here at the end. So hey, I'm gonna let you go. Hey, get to the fam. You know what I'm saying? Because they came in, that I thought something happened. I was like, yo, what's where? They came.
It's excitement. We're just one big excitable.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that. So, Ms. Kim, thank you very much. You know what I
I
mean?
appreciate
Honor, appreciate you. Thank you. Ain't gonna hold you up no longer. You have been a great
it. Okay.
guest. I will be tuning in on your show. Other than that,
Yes.
people, please follow her, follow her, follow her, follow her. Miss Kimberly Michael. I'm in love. Hold on, in love with Kimberly Michael. Tune in, all right? I am always Plus 24. Thank y'all so much for your support. Miss Kim, I love you very much. Have a great
I
day,
love you.
okay?
Thank you. You too.
Peace.
Bye.